This kind of also can go to you too, Mr. Green. You said it's not a dash to the finish line, excuse me, but Leader Pelosi said that she really couldn't get behind an impeachment effort yet until the facts really take her there. Are you guys still looking for more facts to come out before you can, move these articles forward?
I've concluded that the president has already committed an impeachable act. And what I'm doing is not about the Democrats or any Democrat. It's about democracy. What I'm doing is not about the Republicans. It's about the Republic. So this is driven by conscience. It's driven by a belief that no one is above the law. And I can only say to you, I will do this after having given the public an opportunity to weigh in, and I don't have an acid test that I can call to your attention as to when that will occur. But you will be made aware of it, and you have my assurance that there will be articles of impeachment filed. Now, if someone else does it and they do it such that I believe what has been done is appropriate, then there will be no need for me to file. This is not something that I'm doing because I want to be the first. It's something that I'm doing because it has to be done regardless as to who's the first.
Yes, sir. We're working with Ledge Counsel. I would expect to file, they're trying, I'll use the term expeditiously, and I'll say I think that term involves weeks rather than months. But exactly what strategy to use to gain support is something that needs to be worked out. And if I feel that it will work better if I do it on a Thursday than a Wednesday, I'll do it on a Thursday rather than a Wednesday.
And I would add this. I take the position that this is of such a magnitude that whether anyone else votes with me, it's nice and it's important, but I know that there will be at least one vote to impeach the president, and I will cast that vote. I am convinced that given Mr. Sherman's recitation, that he is likely to be a person to cast a similar vote. But really, this is not about trying to make sure the Republicans or the Democrats are in lockstep. I've not lobbied anybody. I'm not going to lobby anybody. People are aware of what my position is, and they can give their commentary. I respect all of them and whatever they say, and I have no response to share with reference to the commentary that others might make. Yes, ma'am.
Congressman Green, are you holding back right now in part because of the threats against you, that it makes you more?
Absolutely not. Since I announced, I have said consistently the same things that I have said today. One, that I believe the president has obstructed justice. Two, that the public has to weigh in because this is not a top-down, it's a bottom-up process. And three, that it's a question of conscience for all members of Congress to consider. I do, however, say this on the question of the threats. No amount of intimidation will deter me. It may enhance my resolve to go forward. It will not diminish my resolve to continue. I will do what I have said, and I will also say this. What was said was very ugly. And I am blessed to have resources. The Capitol Police in Houston, Texas, 2 of them, there to protect me and any persons in my environment. I know that there are many other people who want to speak truth to power who may not have the resources I have. And I worry about what can happen in a country where people who think that they're threats can deter other people. I am blessed. I will continue. But I also want to make sure that those persons are apprehended so that people understand that you cannot change policy with intimidation. Everybody's got a right to free speech, but you don't have a right to threaten people. And we want those persons captured and prosecuted.
Can you tell us, just quickly, can you tell us any news on that front? I mean, has anyone been detained or questioned?
I don't think it judicious at this time to let you know what the investigation has revealed or where it is. I think it's not judicious. You might talk to the Capitol Police. I think it would be appropriate for them to share that kind of information. But I can tell you this, they have indicated to me in intonations that I take seriously that they are serious about this and that they plan to do as much as they can to resolve it and bring persons to justice.
And if I just add, look, this goes with the territory. I haven't been public on this until today, but I'm not going to be deterred, period.
Yes, sir.
Why are you working separately right now? Why not team up right now and work on the same articles right now?
Well, first, because each member, 435, can bring one or more articles at different times. There is no limit on the number of articles any member can bring. I think it's important for us to show to the public that there are members who are looking at the articles of impeachment. And it may very well be that we will do this together. But this is something that has just been explored since last Friday, I believe, is when we were contacted. So I think that he and I will continue to talk and we will continue to explore opportunities. But we ought to each reserve the right to move forward when we believe it appropriate. And I don't have an acid test for when the appropriate time will occur, but I do think we need to let the public weigh in. That's my opinion, and I've been waiting.
Let me comment on that. I've been analyzing the law and the Constitution on this for many weeks and months, but I first called Al Green last Friday about working together. So we went from working separately to doing this press conference in just a few days. I look forward to continuing to work closely with my colleague.
I saw a hand over. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I was wondering how the public can weigh in. Is it through protest, through contacting the representative? What would be the best forum for that? And also, I was wondering what you think leadership's role is in this, both for Leader Pelosi and for Speaker Ryan.
Well, let's start with the last part of your question first. It's a question of conscience for all of us, and I don't question the conscience of others. With reference to how can this public weigh in, well, they're weighing in. If you've been looking at the polls, you can see that a plurality of persons are of the opinion that the president should be impeached. There are many who believe that the president fired Mr. Comey for personal reasons to benefit him, not necessarily to benefit the country. So people are weighing in when they're polled, but there are other things that can be done. Just this weekend, I attended a rally. There was a nationwide rally calling for an independent commission to investigate this and asking that persons who are found guilty be punished appropriately. These rallies are taking place. In July, there will be, I believe, a National Impeachment Day. People can have in their own cities impeachment town meetings. We have had city councils to pass resolutions calling for impeachment. There are various ways for the public, and the public is finding its way in. But the most important thing for us to remember is that we are representatives of we'll file the articles if I perceive that they haven't been filed by someone else. No rush to be first. No. And neither does Mr. Sherman have a rush to be first, I might add.
No. Look, if articles of impeachment based on obstruction of justice were on the floor of the House today, they would not succeed. This is going to be a long process, and certainly it helps when members of the public express their views. We're going to see some important testimony tomorrow that will affect a lot of opinion. We'll see Mr. Mueller's report. And I think that high crimes and misdemeanors have occurred. But if our efforts lead to the removal of this president, that would move us in the direction of the rule of law. If, in order to shore up support with Republican colleagues, the president starts governing in a competent manner, that is not the purpose of what we're doing here today, but it certainly would be a step in the right direction for the country. And we'll see how this transpires, but articles of impeachment are not likely to pass until several more acts of this play are played out on the stage.
Yes, sir. We have votes? More votes. Okay. I'm sure that we may have missed, so I want to apologize to my constituents now if I've missed a vote. I will, if there are no more questions, I'll make a closing comment. Any additional questions? All right. Closing comment. Mr. Sherman, do you want to give yours, and then I'll give mine?
Okay. This is a difficult time for our country. We need governance that is competent and that respects the rule of law. The standard for high crimes and misdemeanors has been met, and I think that will be further confirmed when we hear Comey testify in person tomorrow, and I will be there in person. And it will be a process that will take many months, much action by the people of this country, and additional facts being disclosed to move us in the direction of competent, law-respecting government.
I absolutely believe that this is not one of the better days in the life of our country when we have a president who has obstructed justice. I believe that we do this with heavy hearts. We do this not because we want to, but because we believe we have to. And we do this because we want to make sure that this country is not perceived by other places in the world as a place where the president is above the law, that the president can act with impunity. Every person in this country is beneath the law of this country. The law is something that we all serve under. And the best way to make sure that this president understands and that the people of the country can agree with us is to continue with the effort to impeach. So I will not change my position. I stand on the grounds of impeachment, and I believe that at some point, either I or someone else will present a resolution to impeach the President of the United States, Mr. Donald J. Trump. I thank you for being here, and hope that I will make my votes. Thank you.
I'll be available through my press secretary for any questions. Got to vote.